Good morning.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Good morning, everyone.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Nah, it ain't it's still morning. No, it's afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good morning.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
midday, midday number, midday.
Whatever time this comes out.
Oh man,
How's everybody doing?
All right.
Hanging in there.
Just trying to make it through.
Better than I deserve.
Trying to get to the rapture, boys.
Yeah, man. Yeah, what's wrong with you guys, man?
That's good. Any stories, Ralph? No stories.
All out of stories, B.
Devo Mike, what's up?
That's Devo Mike.
No devotions.
Son, I give devotions every week. B, you just be missing them. You don't point them out.
This guy's lying.
Son, what? I
How you lying on
I think I dropped a piece
Christian
of devotion
podcast?
last week, dog. A good piece of, and I said it in my mind. I was like, wow, that was anointed, Lord. Thank you. But I was like, he's not gonna recognize it because
Devotions in the beginning, man.
No, B.
That's the monologue devotion.
Nah, B. The devotion come anytime, B. You just gotta catch it, dog.
Yeah, man.
Son, he's like the wind.
All right, Filthy. Talk to the people, Filthy.
Oh, man.
You looking royal today?
I'm looking royal.
Yeah,
With
got
the
purple.
poiple? With the
Royalty,
poiple?
baby.
That's it, baby.
His blood goes through my veins, baby. That royal blood. Jesus Christ in the house, baby.
Yeah, man.
I love Jesus.
You should do Jesus Christ commercials.
Yo, anybody else out there love Jesus?
Yo, he's always talking to the people out there.
If y'all love Jesus, comment.
And the people out there ain't
You know
checking
what I'm
for you, man.
For me,
They're gonna scroll.
when I say if you love Jesus, Jesucristo, for all of you Spanish people that didn't know Jesus.
Oh, now you speaking Spanish? I thought
Yeah,
you didn't
boy.
know how to speak Spanish.
Nah, I don't. Thanks to Mama Dukes. I know you're watching, Ma. Thank you for, out teaching us Spanish.
Yo,
I still love you, Ma.
I be feeling Mom Dukes want to karate chop me.
Why?
She be like,
Yo, my dudes came at me
pick on this.
a couple of weeks ago.
I see you coming at Angelo. I be like, Mom, no. He
She
does
knows.
it to himself,
She-
Mom. He does it to himself. I be copping the major plea to Miss Esther.
She knows
I be
y'all
like,
be
no,
disrespecting.
Mom, no, Mom.
Y'all
She
be
be like, I
disrespecting.
see you. Leave him alone. I'm like, no, Mom. He does it to himself. I said, you don't see the stuff he does behind scenes. It just comes out on the camera.
Yo, my mom is an OG.
Shout out to Miss Esther.
Shout out, Esther.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Kweku.
Who's that?
He's always commenting on our YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we on YouTube, yo. Like and subscribe.
That's what I meant to tell
Yo,
you.
I keep forgetting to say that.
People gotta hit the like button. People gotta hit the subscribe button. People
Yeah.
gotta share. Like,
Well, actually, you know what?
Drop the comments,
we
man.
need y'all help, man.
Yeah, man.
And participating in this so that
yes,
I guess the algorithms could
That's what
push
I-
us up so more people could see this, so more people could hear about the Word of God. So you know what? Everybody could participate in this. So like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. What else?
It be certain amount of views.
Comment.
I mean, we don't get no views. We get like 100 views, 200 views, but it'd be like 12 likes. I'd be like, come on, man.
Comment.
Listen, even if you
dislike.
even if you put the thumbs down, like blast us, be like, yo, y'all totally off.
Nah, but I gotta
Keep it going.
I gotta shout out my guy, man. He's I hope it's a guy. That'll be messed up, right?
If Kwaku's a girl,
Kwaku's a girl. I think it's a dude. The fifth man. He's the fifth member. He's
That was him?
Yeah, he's a self-proclaimed fifth member.
he's always
of the group.
commenting on
Kwaku.
YouTube.
Yeah, he's always
yeah.
and his comments and his insights be on point.
Nice.
So just
What
wanted
up,
to,
Q?
Just wanted to give a shout out to him and shout out to everybody, man.
That's
Word.
listening, man.
That's just one person that popped in my head because
No, we got a few that
he interacts.
comment on a bunch of the stuff and like and share. But we appreciate it, man.
But yeah,
You know who gets the glory, but
Yes,
just it helps to push the podcast along, man.
Yeah, just on the YouTube, man. Like the other social medias, I mean, is active, but the YouTube is where,
Yeah, the
hit
internet
the
is
music together.
weird because it has algorithms. It's a whole field of study and how to do all that stuff. But we put it out there and let the Holy Spirit do what He do. So if you like what you're hearing and you think that it could help out a friend or family, you could share it or not. You could hit the like or not. You could subscribe or not.
Word up.
But either way, we appreciate you listening if you are.
Yes.
If you don't subscribe, Filthy's gonna come looking for you.
Here we go.
You don't want Filthy looking for you.
Here we go.
You know what I'm saying?
Filthy's gonna put hands on you and pray.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Lay the hands on you, baby.
Hit you with an anointing. Hit you with the jacket. 50 gonna come with the jacket. Hit you with the jacket.
It's gonna blow on him. Like, what's that dude who blew away COVID?
My homegirl, Marisol, she was like, yo, why you keep calling women shorties? Because she's short. She was like, yo, why you keep making comments about my height?
Chill, we from Brooklyn.
That's
how
my
Brook-
homie.
Sorry.
Marisol and
That's how
Brad,
Brooklyn
yeah.
dudes talk.
Sherry, though, yeah, they cool peeps.
Nice.
So where we at, man? Genesis 26.
Abraham had more kids. He died.
Yep.
Ishmael died, and Esau sells his birthright.
Yeah.
Esau despised the last thing that we heard in that chapter is, thus Esau despised his birthright. He got up, he drank, he ate, he drank, and then he went on his merry way. You know, that's how he perceived it. But you see what the Lord says. You know, in his mind, he was like, I'm replenished, I'm good, I got up, now I'm gonna go about my day. But the Lord is like, yo, dog, you despise the birthright, B. The Lord leaves us with that. That was his mind frame. He despised the birthright. B.
He was satisfied with eating and drinking.
Right.
And other things.
Yeah, he was a man with a price. So whatever price he was willing to give it up for that price, for the right price. You know, that's direct, comment to us. Like, do we have a price, Right. Let it be that we totally submitted to Jesus so that we don't have a price on our heads, Satan's always trying to trick people, to sell your birthright. You still get a blessing. You get this blessing, and forget about the calling or anointing that God has put on your life. Yeah. Trying to trick people. So
yeah, we got introduced to Jacob and Esau in the last chapter. And the story kind of segues into this other act or other scene, which as we get into it,
and Satan is always gonna make you. He's gonna. What he offers is never what it's worth. Like your birthright was worth with, like Marcus said, chicken noodle soup with a soda on the side. That's what your birthright was.
Let people know that that's Red Bull, so they don't think we out here drinking. Just saying.
I thought I was in the middle. You see, when I'm in the middle, that's why I don't do the devos, because it's like,
oh, I'll be interrupting you?
No. We ain't fighting in a while, so I don't want to start no fight.
How much they paid you, man?
Word up,
RB, my bad.
You're not sharing that check, fam?
And he ain't endorse something in a minute too.
Because y'all told me I couldn't. That just slipped my mind, but it looked like a little drink. I wonder why we drinking beverages over
We
here.
getting a little gas money for that.
You know what I'm saying?
For that check.
We taking little sips. Trying to not get twisted.
Now I'm wondering, did that new whip outside, man?
Yeah, look at him.
Why you blowing up the? Yo.
I said whip. It could be anything.
I'm just saying, don't be yo.
Everybody know what a whip is.
A little hoop.
No. I didn't say what type of whip.
All right.
But hey, man, if you're endorsing and you're getting sponsorship bread,
you should have saw what I told him how that whip looked like he do it. But I ain't gonna say it. He was like, "Really?"
Nah, don't do that, man.
Yeah, man. Nah, but it's like what he's.
so it's not Hennessy.
It's not cognac. It ain't the dark.
We're not the drink champs.
Yeah.
We're no in part. So yeah.
All right, cool beans.
So he was. It's just what you selling it out for. It's never what the price, what it's worth. Like he sold out his birthright for some soup, B, and that's how Satan deals with you. Like what the Lord has in store for you, the promises, the blessings that He have for you. Satan is always going to come at it with a price that's soup. It's worth soup. He's never gonna pay. He ain't gonna pay the real price, what it's worth. He's gonna try to sell you out, and he's gonna come with you soup at first.
Word.
I mean, he might start to level it up little by little, but the first price he always negotiate with you is always worth soup. It's like a duck soup. Let me see if you're gonna do it for soup, and then next time I might come with a steak. But that's how he'll be.
That's
he's the
crazy,
worst.
Yeah. Yep.
He's the worst, dog.
that's horrible. When you put it that way, Like women or men, give up their purity for
soup.
For soup.
Yeah, B.
Little 5-10 minute of pleasure, you just throw it all away. Throw away what? And just from the previous chapter we just spoke about, like when we were talking about like Isaac getting a bride, that was one of the longest chapter to show you how God thinks about marriage. It was the longest chapter to show you how in depth it was, what kind of woman he was, the character, and how Isaac waited, for this bride. Right. And you seeing the picture of marriage, and how many times we look at relationships today for like 5 minutes of pleasure, 15 minutes of pleasure. You just throw that beautiful, glorious thing that God created, for
big facts. Big facts.
Yep, they don't appreciate the sanctity of it. It's no longer sacred to them.
Yes. So that was it.
That's great points. So let's go into chapter 26, which I don't think is in chronological order. Right? As we go into it, we'll see. Coming from what we read in the chapter before this.
Oh, you say right.
It's a little weird the way it fits in there. It's like a segue into something else.
Okay.
So let's read. Let's go ahead, Angelo. Let's go from 1 to 5.
There was a famine in the land, besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. Then the Lord appeared to him and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land of which I shall tell you. Dwell in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and your descendants I give all these lands, and I will perform the oath which I swore to Abraham your father, and I will make your descendants multiply as the stars of heaven. I will give to your descendants all these lands, and in your seed all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws.
Famine. Another famine. It distinguished this famine from the famine before. So we're seeing Isaac in like these parallel situations that Abraham was in. Right? So he made a move. Right? And he made a move and he went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. So, and the Lord told them, right? Now we're seeing Christophany. The Lord appeared to him like he appeared to his father. And the Lord said, hey, don't go down to Egypt. So Gerar was probably like a pit stop to Egypt. So he was headed in that direction. And the Lord kind of came to him and be like, yo, don't go down there. Right? Stay where you at temporarily and live there. Dwell in this land. And we see him restating these promises. Right? So, and we're kind of seeing the shift. Right? This being Isaac. Now you're fully into this. Now it's all about you now. You know what I'm saying? Like the promise is shifted completely to you. Right? Because he kind of says the same thing to Abraham.
I think it's cool here. This is the first time on record, right, that God appears to speak to Isaac. And I just see now that Abraham's son now has his own personal relationship with God.
Right.
And it's just a blessing to see that, as someone who, I don't have kids, but someone who does have children, to finally be, see that prayer and see the Lord have a relationship with your children has to be just a beautiful thing.
And it says he blessed them because Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge. Like, just being blessed because of your parents' obedience, how children are blessed when the parents are obedient. And the Lord, he remembered Abraham for that. And he blessed his son. And he told him, don't go down to Egypt. That should be plastered.
A t-shirt.
That should be on a billboard.
Don't go to Egypt.
Don't go down to Egypt.
There's a lot of people that want to go back to Egypt. Like, no, don't
You'll
go to
be,
Egypt.
no matter what you do, don't go down to Egypt. Like,
Symbolically
that.
speaking.
Right. You know, he stressed that because it's like when your dad went to Egypt, it was a total mess.
Correct.
And Isaac was obedient. So shout out to Isaac for that.
So in this, dwell in this land, I will be with you, for to you and your descendants I will give this land, like I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descent. So now everything is you. Mm-hmm. Everything's shifted over to you. Now you're the man, pretty much, and now I'm reestablishing this covenant with you. Mm-hmm. Right. So we see that. So let's go to.
And one other quick point when he says, and in your seed, all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. He's reiterating that, showing, and just saying that the seed we're seeing is singular, Then he's talking about, we're going to see that, with Jacob and all that. But in true, prophetically speaking, it was all pointed to Jesus, that the whole world was going to be blessed to this seed that's going to come through your nation, which is Jesus. So this is a singular pointing towards Christ, who's going to come and bless the whole earth. So this is why I don't want you to go through this. I don't want you to mess up this promise that's going on here. So it's very important noticing that this is a singular word being used.
Amen.
So let's continue reading.
So Isaac dwelt in Gerar, and the men of the place asked about his wife, and he said, "She is my sister," for he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," because he thought, lest the men of the place kill me for Rebekah, because she is beautiful to behold. Now it came to pass, when he had been there a long time, that Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked through a window and saw, and there was Isaac showing an endearment to Rebekah his wife. Then Abimelech called Isaac and said, "Quite obviously she is your wife. So how could you say she is my sister?"
What happened, Ange?
Go ahead.
Wait. Isaac said to him, "Because I said, lest I die on the account of her." So that's the end of verse 9. But he pulled a sucker move, dog. He pulled a sucker move, like his pops.
Like father, like son?
And think about it. He was on his way to Egypt. He was on his way because he was going to do what his pops does. And then God had to tell him, don't go to Egypt. So I don't know why the Lord just didn't tell him, and don't lie about your wife being your sister too. You know what I mean? Like, why? Just stop being suckers, man. Like, you guys, he's coming from, he has money. He has obviously armed guards. He has a little bit of an army. Really? Like, why are you so scared? I just don't understand it, man.
Listen, man, sometimes
So he ain't want no smoke, B. That's not who he was.
the ways of the father passes down to the child. Right?
He was afraid.
Sometimes those ways are nurtured. Sometimes those ways, it's weird. But, I think it's evident. Sometimes I look at my kids and be like, damn, I used to do the same thing.
Right.
And it just happens. I don't know. But sometimes those things just happen.
Right.
So yeah, he made the same mistake, right? Out of fear. Again, I thought you guys were just gonna kill me, right? So he tries to protect himself by saying, she's my sister.
Right.
We see Rebecca, beautiful. The beauty. When it comes to beauty in these pagan nations, these women, their life is like in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right? Endangerment of being kidnapped and put into a harem.
I mean, that's in this world too with Satan. When you beautiful out here, dog, they you see with sex trafficking and they're gonna recruit you to, and even just in this world, they just gonna pull you in. Hollywood, as long as you beautiful, they're gonna try to pull you in to become part of that system. So that's how I look at it. So that's why, that's
the life out of you.
It's a responsibility,
right?
Having that beauty, just the physical attractiveness and all of that. It's a responsibility, bro.
Yeah, and then Satan uses that for you to elevate that above everything else. Use that as being the pedestal in order to put all your stock in beauty, put all your stock in the outward, put all your stock in the flesh, as opposed to looking for spiritual things, looking for God. So he plays on that. So it's a very scary thing.
Yeah.
Very similar to, very similar story, very similar circumstances. So Abimelech, right? Obviously, that's a title, right? We're dealing with maybe a generation later, another group of people, 40 years at least.
Yeah.
So this title of Abimelech, I don't think it was the same Abimelech as before.
No.
And some of his characters are similar to the last Abimelech, right? Whereas in this situation, we see God's providence. Whereas before, the Lord came to Abimelech in a dream. Now, as we read on in verse 10, it says, and Abimelech said, what is this you have done to us? One of the people might soon have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us. So Abimelech charged all his people, saying, he who touches this man or his wife shall surely be put to death. Did I skip a part?
No.
So through God's providence, Abimelech saw the interaction between Isaac and Rebekah was not an interaction of a brother and sister. All right, so he perceived like, yo, man, you tricked us again.
Yeah.
That's not your sister.
Yeah.
You don't roll with your sister like this.
The language that was used was like foreplay. Like, it was
Right.
kind of like this intimate,
Right.
and he was able to see it because the Abimelech before that, he got a dream, like straight up and down, like, yo, dog, don't do it. But how convenient this guy. What's this guy doing peeping in?
He's a peeping Tom, bro.
Peeping
So
through
he
my
was?
window. Yeah, that's why I'm like,
this.
dog. He on peeping time, man. What's wrong with you, man? Peeping
Let
through
me see
people's
what this
window.
brother and sister are doing. Like, really, dude?
He's
Yeah.
probably looking for Rebecca. Like, where's she at? What's
Right,
she doing?
right.
Yo, wait,
Yo,
wait a minute.
brothers and sisters don't play like that.
Man.
But yeah, it just so happened, the Lord, he exposed Isaac, man. And I think it says it was a minute that passed. It says, now it came to pass when he had been there a long time. So this lie was going on for a minute.
And she didn't get snatched up. That's
This
God's
lie was going
protection.
on for a
And
minute,
yeah, it's God's providence, God's
B.
protection.
B. Like how long this lie was going on? Like Isaac, you acting like Rebecca's your sister. This lie was going on for a minute. B.
Because the famine hit. I was going down to Egypt because Egypt has this lush. You get this
Right.
picture like Egypt got it going on, right? And that's going to be a shelter when things are hard. You run to Egypt, but now he stopped at this pit stop, and the Lord was like, "No, don't go down there." But he's scared because of the place he's at, because of the Philistines. So now you got to stay here because you can't go back because of the famine. So now you got to continue with this lie, right? Continue with this deception. But obviously, we're husband and wife. We're going to try to, get time with each other because we love each other.
Right.
So I get the picture that we don't hear anything about kids. So I get the picture like, this is not chronological. So this story
Before the
was
twins?
before, right?
The twins, right.
Was before the twins was born.
Right.
So now, you're seeing this picture of newlyweds. We're in this situation, but like, meet me by the thing because we gotta, make out. I don't know.
Meet me under the tree.
Yeah,
Under the
the newness. When it's new.
under the sycamore tree.
Under the terebinth tree.
The terebinth tree.
Oh,
So
man.
what I see with Abimelech, there's a morality with him, right? Understanding, you're gonna bring sin upon like the other Abimelech upon us, right? Again, he's lumping everybody in with him as being the leader, right? If this thing I was supposed to do this thing, it's not good, right? It would be a sin. So him recognizing sin, him being a thoughtful leader, thinking about the people that he's leading, right? And we see him act after that, right? Where he gives a decree, like, yo, whoever touch this man's wife, you're going to be judged. You're going to be put to death. That was very noble of him the way he moved and the things that he said.
Mm-hmm.
More noble than Isaac,
Right.
right? Where he recognized, and he's giving a message to the people that he's leading. Like, we don't do this over here,
Right.
right? We don't commit adultery. We don't
Right.
sleep with another man's wife. Again, you're seeing how they're elevating the union between man and wife.
Who?
Abimelech.
You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I see it more like just in that specific scenario. Like, I don't know if they're Philistines. They do what they want. They sin. You know what I mean? But I see that they know who this family is. They know who Abraham was. You know what I mean? They know how God was with them and how God is likely with his son. So I see it more like with this specific case. I don't know if I see it with them elevating marriage and saying that adultery is bad. They're the Philistines. They're the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I see it like that.
You're looking at it
because he said, "What is this you have done to us?"
Right.
Like, one of the people could have laid with your wife.
Right.
That was his argument, and you're gonna bring this guilt.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna bring this sin upon us.
Because they know how it happened before.
I don't
know
know.
that?
Because
You don't know that.
you don't think that these people knew the stories of Abraham.
You
knew
know
how he came in and how all of a sudden people weren't having children because of his wife that was in captivity. Like, you don't think that was something that was told to the next generation?
You know why I say no? Because this is another generation.
Yes.
Like, Isaac is grown, and this is another group of people. We're gonna read later on what was happening, that they didn't respect a covenant that Abraham made with them.
Yeah, I get that, which is why I don't think that they're saying they're respecting his wife and adultery. I don't. They're stopping up the, what is it?
So then why do that?
Why? Yeah. Why say that?
Because they're worried about what God is going to do.
Why?
Because this is not 10 generations.
No, I'm
this
just
is one generation that passed.
I get what you're
This
saying.
is like Marcus's dad.
But
or
again,
something
if
like
they
that.
do whatever they want, they're Philistines, then why respect this God?
Right. And why
because
even
of
put
that
out
specific story is what I'm saying. Because this all happened before.
The Abimelech before that did the same thing. As soon as the Lord came to him and told him, he was like, your dog, what are you doing?
Exactly.
So
what I'm saying, they respected God for that specific scenario about don't sleep with God's chosen one's wife.
That's what Marcus
But
said.
he's
I'm saying
is
within
in
that
general,
culture-
Right.
that culture is promoting not committing adultery, and I'm like,
So you think
No,
it
no,
was
I don't see that.
specific for
this
Abraham
case
and
because
Isaac?
of the fact that they can not Abraham and Isaac specifically because of what God will do if you slept with the chosen one's wife.
I think Isaac did the same thing his father did. You assumed that when I came in there, these people was gonna be however they were gonna be. Same thing Abraham did. Abraham, remember how we read where the Abimelech did that, and Abraham was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham was totally wrong, bro. It's this. I think it's the same thing. Whatever.
That's not what we're talking about.
I'm not trying. Listen, I'm not trying to say the whole Philistines, but this sect, this group that is represented by with Abimelech as their king, these people that they're dealing with, Isaac, he just like his pops was afraid they was gonna do something to him, and he's like, nah, dog, that's not how we roll. Maybe the people around him, maybe other sects, but he's like, dog, that's not how we roll. That's how I see it.
No, I do see what Angelo was saying in terms of like, because this is just one generation. The same way they understood, when we see later with the whole wealth thing or whatever, we do see that it was known. Something was known about Abraham's family because it wasn't isolated. I mean, Abraham was a big military industrial complex. They were known throughout everywhere. They were wealthy. They were powerful.
But why not go to war with them?
Well, but the thing is, I think that it, although it might have not been, I don't know if it was or if it wasn't the same Abimelech. Probably it wasn't. But I think they knew that it had to have been passed on. There was a moment of time
Abraham's
that
God.
we were all barren, and their God opened up. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I think there may be something to it. I don't know.
So they had respect for the God of Abraham.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
right.
Which
right.
is why they
I
wouldn't
think, yeah.
touch his specific son's
I don't
wife.
think that.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
I think it's just like with it's just like with Abraham.
So you're saying that they recognize that Isaac and Rebecca was Abraham's son? Is that what you're saying?
Of course. He was his heir. He was given all of his kingdom. You don't think they recognize who he was? That he was the son of Abraham?
So then how didn't they know that Rebecca was his wife? If you're knowing, if
they don't know who the women are.
Listen,
did they care about the women?
No. There's a famine, and this guy's going south, I believe.
Yep.
And he stopped over there.
Yes. How you don't know who his wife is?
So if you know, right? If all of this is information that they know, how would you not know that here comes Isaac, and we know you understand what I'm saying?
Well, it may not be they know them personally, but they know of these people that came from.
Okay, so now we get in the story that Abimelech saw something, right?
Yeah.
If they didn't recognize them as who they are, if they was just regular people coming through, and he saw something, he should have been like, yo, why is this guy messing around with the woman that is his sister? Right? I want her in my harem. Yo, kill him.
Yeah, it would have been no respect for it, man.
What he came to the conclusion, like, wait a minute. The way y'all moving is like husband and wife. And he come to them like, yo, why would you say that that's your sister and put us in jeopardy? That's what he's saying. Yes. He's not saying, oh, your thing and your God and da-da-da. He's recognizing that you deceived us by what you said, and you could have put us in danger. Not only me, yo, dog, my whole community.
What danger?
That's how I say it.
From who? What danger?
Sin, guilt. That's what he says.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he says that. No, that's
These
what he
dudes
says.
are worried about the guilt of sin.
What does he say?
You bugging.
Yeah,
They
he
were
says-
worried
yeah, he says
about
that.
danger from God, from the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is what he was worried about.
What does
What
he
does
say?
in verse 10?
Listen, you're no.
This is you done the same thing that
you
Abimelech before him said.
And you
What
have this
you done to
conception.
us?
Listen, you have this conception that these other cultures didn't have moral standards that they followed. You can't say that.
I mean,
You can't have the picture that they all savages, they do whatever. We're seeing
Right.
other cultures, they have their standards too. And then we're seeing the Lord use these other pagans to check
Yep.
men that he had covenants with.
Yeah.
When they lapse, I'm going to use somebody else to check you.
these men would go ahead, bro.
No, I was gonna say, like, it doesn't have to be in terms of that these are contradictory statements. Like, I think they might have had a standard. You know what I'm saying? They had a standard
And that's
of adultery.
That's it.
But I also see that it is because they understand these people that there was a fear. Because when he said, Isaac said, when he said, what is this that you have done to us? One of our people might soon have lain with your wife and would have brought guilt on us. Okay.
Yo, I'll tell you something. You ever interact, dog? I know non-believers who follow godly principles and godly standards, dog. And I'm talking about atheists don't believe in God. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's like you know, it came to the point with these people, you know, they understood the God of Abraham, but it's not far-fetched to be like, your dog, that's not what we do here.
Correct.
It's just your dog. That's why, and that's a good. I'm gonna tell you something. That's a good example that he said. You brought this guilt on us. I felt like Abraham and Isaac went in there. They went in there scared. Y'all already have these plans conjured up. It's already all mapped out. Yo, yeah, they're gonna do this to us. They're gonna do that to us. And if you see how both Abimelechs dealt, they like, yo, dog, no, bro. Like, yo, B, that's not what yo, dog, what are you trying to do over here? Like, we good over here. Don't come in here with this whole nonsense. So that's how I look at it. But I mean I could be
and it's not mentioned. Their legacy is not mentioned.
Yeah, obviously they were scared of something, or else he wouldn't have lied. So why would you be scared of them, you know, killing him for his wife? If there were not rumors, if there were not stories of them doing it in the past.
So let me give you an example. It's like you going down the neighborhood. You know this neighborhood is notorious for killing. Now you going down this neighborhood and you see a group of dudes. So now you coming with you got your hand on your gun and everything, and these group of dudes is probably looking at you like, dog, yeah, you've heard about this neighborhood, but that's not what we do over here.
You're talking about a few heads. I'm talking about the leader of this entire nation.
But that's what, I'm trying to say as far as how you approach people, B. Just because they're not like you or they don't move like you can't come with no preconceived notion on this is how they move. Because sometimes they'll move better than you.
Right.
And you has the Lord. Dog, it happens all the time with non-believers. You know how many times I get checked by non-believers, and I be like, yo,
that's
dog,
not what we're
I already.
talking about.
I'm trying to show you.
No,
bro.
I understand what you're saying as individual people. I get it.
And I think these
but that's not what I'm talking about.
I think
here.
Abraham and Isaac both came with preconceived notions on already how these people
right.
move, and when they and like Marcus said, they got checked. B, you was off. Why you lying?
Nobody didn't say
you
they
scared.
weren't off. They were off.
You scared. You moving scared.
They
and
were
the
off.
and the Lord is like, why you moving scared, dog? Yo, these people don't even roll like that.
All
you
right.
off.
Go ahead. Keep on moving.
I'm just saying.
You think the Philistines were cool people? I don't.
No, but you're saying that they didn't have any type of moral standards. But the Lord is using them to check the two, the father of faith and his son.
Look at Melchizedek, the high priest of the Most High God. Where was he from?
Melchizedek?
Yeah, Melchizedek. Where was he from? Exactly.
He's possibly a Canaanite.
Right. And it says he was a priest of the Most High God. And Abraham paid tithes to him.
See, but you, all right, whatever, man.
And he came from where?
You
Yeah,
keep bringing up examples when all I'm saying, I'm pointing to right here.
No, I'm showing you.
What are you showing me?
You can't approach. If Abraham had approached Melchizedek like your dog, oh, nah, you're not part of my family right here. How?
I mean, Melchizedek, some people think was God. So can we take him out of the equation?
No, I'm just trying to show you that he understood that this man was from God.
Because he could have been God.
Okay, I get it.
All right.
But what I'm trying to show you is that the way he approached him, he didn't approach him like you not part of us, so yo, wrong and you're off, bro.
All right.
You can't do that.
Agree to disagree.
Son, that's prejudice. I don't deal with prejudice.
I'm still trying to understand. So you think that the only reason that they reacted the way they did is because they knew, oh, you're from Abraham, and we know about your God, and
I think the story that just happened with Abraham's dad, with Isaac's dad, was not even 2 generations. It occurred within 40 years or whatever. And what I'm thinking. So I feel like that story was fresh in these people's minds, whether or not
what
that
did
was...
the first Abimelech go
why
off
did it
of?
happen the first time?
Right.
Then?
What did the first Abimelech go off
Yeah,
of?
what did they
a
go
dream,
off of?
right? A vision. God gave him a vision.
Right.
Right?
So why he respected it?
Yeah, so he respected the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Why?
Why? Because God came and put him in his place.
All right, so but why respect it? Why not be like Pharaoh and be like, dog, I don't respect your God. I'm not letting the people go.
I just told you why. Because God came in a dream and told him what to do. He was going to kill him.
God come to people all the time. Why do you respect it? Why did he respect it? He could have been like Pharaoh.
He respected the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Don't that show you there's a difference?
No, that he respected. Of course, he respected God.
Exactly. And why didn't Pharaoh, when God came to Pharaoh a couple times, and Pharaoh was like, "Your dog, I don't respect your God." That's what he told Moses.
Well, you see, the thing is, like, I see both of it can play a part, and both of it can be true in terms of like,
chill. Both can do.
No, the reason why is because they can have like, there's a certain standard that they have, like, we don't do this here. We don't commit adultery.
Right.
All right. Okay, we understand that we don't commit adultery. I'm not gonna do that.
It's consistent, right? The first thing that Abimelech said, and this one is very consistent with how they view marriage in their culture.
Yes.
Right.
And the first time we saw that interaction where Abimelech was coming to God like, yo,
Yep.
I'm innocent in this. Why would he defend it that way? And God was like, yeah, you're right. I know you are innocent.
And then God told him, you're dead. If you make a move, you're dead. And he said, you know what? I'm going to say, because this dude has my life in his hand, so I'm going to respect the God of Abraham.
Yeah, he said if you don't restore him.
So that's the thing. I believe that, he had a certain level because God has written his laws in our hearts, every single man. Mm-hmm. The 10 Commandments has been written on everyone's hearts. They know that lying is wrong. They know that adultery is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
This is before the law.
This is before the law. So we know that he already had this written in his heart, and he understood that concept. And also, because this event happened, not even a full generation, like one generation, like you're saying, that it happened and that it was told to, whether it was him or whether it was his father or whatever, said that you're going to be dead if you touch my peoples.
Exactly.
Even though my peoples are liars, even though they're the prophet, but they're liars and they're connivers, that's my peoples in them. Don't touch them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
So that's why I'm saying that it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive where it can't be this or can't be that.
Okay, so the problem I have with that, right?
Uh-huh.
It's, we fear God in this part, But on the second part, we're going to totally disrespect the covenant that we had before, and we're going to fill up all these wells because we don't respect the God in this part.
Okay.
Why isn't it
I mean,
consistent?
but that tells you
the
how
fear?
good of a people they are, right? That Mike is saying they're amazing people.
I never said there was.
No. Listen,
But they're filling up the wells and breaking covenants.
No. What we're saying is, in terms of marriage, that standard was within that culture.
Right.
So, right. No,
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
That's what
That's what it was.
That's what we said.
No,
But
that's what I'm saying.
because if you're using the excuse for the fear of God for the whole marriage part, why don't you have the fear of God with
I'm
this
not
covenant
saying
that
the
we
fear
had?
of God for
No,
the
I
whole
don't think-
marriage
no,
part.
no, I
I'm
don't
saying
think-
the fear of God for who that dude is.
So then don't touch the
And that's
wells
specifically
because it was the
why.
same people. It's the
Don't
same
touch the wells.
God.
Right.
My father was Abimelech, right? I heard
That was a
what
great
went
point,
down.
son.
I heard what went down.
Yeah.
With Abraham and what my father was about to do to his wife, and what God told him. So now I'm Abimelech. I'm the king, and why would you not think that that's in my mind? And now this is Abraham's son, and the same thing was about to
understand
happen
that.
with
Let's keep
his
going.
wife.
Let's keep going.
Let's
Let's
go.
keep
All right,
going.
let's read
Because
on.
that's a great point, but still,
That's a great point. Let's
It's still
keep going.
no, but it still could be refuted.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
keep
both
going.
ways.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
All right, let's read it. Read on.
Where are we?
We're at 12, I think. 12.
Okay, to what? 12 to.
19.
You could go to 20, 22.
You
22.
want me to read?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Then Isaac sowed in that land and reaped in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. The man began to prosper and continued prospering until he became very prosperous, for he had possessions of flocks and possessions of herds and a great number of servants. So the Philistines envied him. Now the Philistines had stopped up all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, and they had filled them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you are much mightier than we." Then Isaac departed from there and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar and dwelt there. And Isaac dug again the wells of water which they had dug in the days of Abraham his father, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. He called them by the names which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found a well of running water there. But the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." So he called the name of the well Esek, because they quarreled with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over that one also. So he called its name Sitnah. And he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called its name Rehoboth, because he said, "For now the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land."
All right. So what are we seeing over here?
Isaac just being blessed. I mean, he was already prosperous, but he went and he sowed seed. He worked. You know, I see just, you know, he didn't just take his father's inheritance and just blow it and just live off of it. And it's like, I'm good. You know, my father's left me enough money. I ain't got to work. Nah, B, that man got up, he went and he added more. You know, he sowed seed and he continued to just reap. And through that came envy. It came jealousy. You know, the people around him started to be envious and jealous. And it's just, that's just what comes with hard work. You go out there, you work hard, you try to get yours. And there's always going to be somebody that hate, somebody that's going to want it. They're going to envy you. They're going to be jealous of you. That's what comes with it.
So more conflict, right? Land conflict now. I think before we could even see a picture of a conflict with the seed, right? With his wife almost being put in a position where somebody else could have slept with her, right? Same pictures as before, right? Conflicts with the seed, with a chance that somebody might sleep with your wife, and then now conflicts in the land. And that's a great point, you know, working, right? Isaac was already wealthy, super wealthy, but he's still working. And the Lord is continuing to bless him.
And the blessing here, when he said 100-fold, they said, like some of the commentaries said that usually what Isaac did in 1 year, most of the other workers, the farmers, it would have taken them 4 years.
Crazy.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Lord was behind it. It was divine.
So you see that it was divine. It was a blessing, even though he was, you know, lying. you know, and God still came and blessed him, you know, and that's, you're seeing the grace of God because of his promise that he made to Abraham, that's continuing through Isaac, and that is going to continue because of this, regardless of his actions, is all based on God's faithfulness.
And similar to Abraham and Lot, we're seeing the herdsman beef, right? Tension, and I think his response was the same, where all right, I'm gonna move so that this beef won't happen, right? Just like with Lot, he was like, go ahead, take whatever land you want. So we kind of see the same mild-mannered.
Yeah.
I want everything to be peaceful. You know, not worrying about if I'm gonna lose anything, because I know the Lord is gonna continue to bless me. All right, so we see that, but there's tension where these people are filling up these wells, and you gotta understand how valuable the water was in that location. You need the water for
farming,
to water the animals. That was like prime real estate.
Yep.
If you dug a well, right? And it was work to dig those wells.
No, man, work. And he found it says he found a running well. You know, he found one it was just a regular well. It was producing a lot. I just see the people around him. Like, you go and now you vandalizing this guy's hard work because you're jealous. This guy, he gets up, he go get his. He's prosperous. The Lord is blessing him. And because you're envious and you're jealous of what he got, you start to destroy what he built. You know, this is what this man built. This is you think about, just if you built a business, imagine you built a business from the ground up. You put in your hard work, your sweat, your equity, everything is in that business. And somebody, because they feel like you got too much, or they feel like you don't deserve it, and they envious of you, they go and they vandalize your business. And they start to destroy things in your business. They start to destroy your business. Why? Because they feel like you don't deserve that, or you shouldn't have that. Imagine that, bro. And that's what he's going through right now. He's feeling that right now. Like, yo, dog, I'm working, I work hard to get these wells. I'm building, I'm sowing. And because you hating on me, you going to destroy my business? Bruh, go get your own.
But they won't blaze his wife.
Exactly.
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 You
They
know what
won't
I'm
blaze
saying?
his wife.
But why?
That's off
But
limits.
why?
You're missing the part.
Word up.
It's,
I got you.
it's not consistent,
Yeah.
I got you.
right?
Word
It's
up.
not consistent where, listen, Isaac could have went to war.
Right.
Yep.
Like, Isaac wasn't, he wasn't a punk, or he didn't have the army. He didn't have the backing. We could go to action if you want.
Yep.
But we see his response.
Right.
So now my thing is, why is it not consistent in the fear of God?
Right. That's it. That's a great point. Yep.
I'm over here, I'm a beef with your herdsman. I'm going to fill up these
Yep.
wells that Abraham, the guy named,
Right.
right? And I'm going to try to hate on your business, envious, but when it comes,
And that's
so
why?
the fear of God is only limited to the
business,
to the wife.
to the-
Because that's what the example was that God showed us. It was a specific dream about sleeping with the dude's wife.
He didn't get a
This
dream.
entire thing was what we had to the sanctity of the seed, right? Of his seed. That was the most important thing.
So
for Christ.
Ange, my question is, if they were scared that God could curse their household if he messed with the wife, why aren't you scared of this same God
Right.
cursing your crops if you mess with this man's crop?
Yeah,
Like, how is it not?
Because if
why
they-
isn't there any consistency
what? If
in
they
their
were-
fear of God?
Because if they were scared, right, of God, which they were previously, it says, right, with the other Abimelech, then why did they not just drop everything and start serving that God? Why did they not start serving our God?
Listen, that's why I'm saying.
Why?
They had a standard in their culture when it came to marriage. It was like, you thought we don't do that.
That's
Okay.
it. That's all
We
it
don't
was.
do it.
All right.
That's all
That's
it
what
was.
that's what you think. It's all good.
No, it could have. Yeah, it could have been just because of the culture. That could have been their standard.
That's
Well,
it.
you never
don't-
know.
but-
I don't know that. You don't either. But.
No, yeah, we don't. But you could also say that no, and this is the only thing is that you could also say is that why didn't Abraham have that fear of God for and not lie, or Isaac did not have the fear of God and
I
not
was
lie.
saying that the whole time.
But we
they
know
was-
He
why.
lacked faith.
No, we know why.
They
At
said
that
they were
moment.
afraid.
They were afraid.
They feared man.
Right.
Right? So that's the thing. So like for you to say that, oh, how come they didn't have the same fear of God in order for him not to stop up the wells? Why did it have to be that? It's like, yo, we don't want you here.
Yeah.
So was it connected to? Was it correlated with God?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
No, that's not what you're saying.
No, you're saying that when we said that it was because of the fear of God they did not commit adultery.
No, we
No.
didn't say that.
I'm saying
It was the standard.
that's their standard.
That's their standard.
They respected marriage.
That's what he's saying.
That's why he was like, "Your dog, we don't do this over here."
He was like-
why would you lie?
right.
Okay.
That's why he's saying that. That's why I'm saying it doesn't have to. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the fear of God,
Fear of God.
or it was a dream. He was like, we're seeing a pagan, right, a leader, say, "Why did you do this and put this upon us?
Twice.
We don't do this over here."
Yeah. Yep.
And it's showing you an insight of these
So let
people.
me-
were
let me
So
ask
he
you-
just
so
said,
let me ask you a question.
hold on. He said someone may have slept with your wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean we don't do this over here? Obviously, it was a possibility that somebody would have slept with her.
because you said that was your sister.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. That person would have fornicated with her. So fornication
Right,
is
because
good.
They didn't
No,
know.
they
But
would,
adultery
they
is
would,
not
it wouldn't have
good.
been fornication. They didn't know.
They didn't know.
It would have been fornication is different from adultery. Fornication would have been just
No,
without
somebody
being married.
somebody could have took her to be their wife.
Right.
That's not what it says. It says somebody could lay with her.
Fam, he's saying you're being misleading. You says that's your sister.
So we know
If you're
that he
saying
was being misleading.
Okay, wait.
I know that.
If you're saying that's your sister, then she's available.
Right.
If she's available, somebody could have came and snatched her up. That's the whole
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Exactly. That's what it was. All right. So, but going back to this,
I don't agree.
just again, this is
Red Bull Ange right here, baby. Red Bull's gonna be the sponsor every week.
Don't say that name. Don't say that name.
no, but just again, just
Right.
stressing that fact of, and you seeing, like you said, Isaac's temperament of, dog, I don't want no problems, B. I'm just working hard, trying to get mines. I'm trying to build. I'm trying to sow. And you're seeing again this picture of people hating. You know, a man getting up, he's building what he has to build, and he's doing what he has to do. But because people are envious and they're hating, they're vandalizing and destroying what a next man built. You know, and that's the picture I see, just how wrong that is. You know, like, go dig your own well, B.
Right.
But I
That's
do
it,
love
but you
how
ain't
he
gotta
kept on
destroy it.
moving. How he
Yeah.
didn't he did what Christ would have done. You know what I'm saying?
'Cause he
All
was
right, I'm gonna
scared.
keep on moving.
Because he was scared.
I mean, we know why he was scared because it says he was scared about the whole wife thing. I don't think he was scared to fight them, like
Yeah.
Marcus was saying. I don't think that was the case. I agree with you on that.
He's listen, man, he was a mild mannered dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he had wisdom, he had discernment, and he was probably like, this is not a situation to get into. Sometimes it's good to walk away from a situation.
Yeah, of course.
Right? It's not I don't think the first reaction should always be let's escalate it to, you know what I'm saying, to a war.
And I think he attributed it to the Lord. He was like, all right, B,
It takes humility.
Yeah, B, you fill that well up, B. I'm not finding these wells because I'm out here working hard. It's really a blessing, B.
Right.
You know, he's like, yeah, I'm putting in the work, but this is coming from the Lord, so you can't stop it. And remember, the first well he found was a running well. That wasn't common. You know, it was a running well. Like this well was a running well. So it's like he found that, and that could have been. I look at it was a test to Isaac too. You could have been like, I found a running well, and you went and filled that up. That would have been off the rip a reason to go to war. But he just kept on moving. He kept on moving.
And he would unplug all the wells, right, and rename them the same name that his father named them, right? And in verse 22, right, and he moved from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he moved. They dug another well, and the Lord blessed them. Right. They found water, right? And so he called its name Rehoboth, because he said, for now, the Lord has made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land.
Yeah, it was
Listen, the Lord will continue to make room, right? Sometimes you don't have to keep banging heads and going to war and making a situation even more volatile, right? Yeah. And then because of that, in verse 20. Where we stop? 23.
Yeah, you start at 22.
22 we stop.
So we read 23 to what?
But one quick thing I want to say from that point you just made, from Psalm 75:6, he says, "For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. It is God who judges. He brings one down, he exalts another. Promotion or exaltation comes from God."
Right.
So it's like Isaac understood that.
Right.
That, you know, that's why I could keep it moving. You could block this one, but it's God. I know it's God's grace that's providing for me. So you could keep doing your dirt. You could keep, you know, but you know what? God is gonna bless me because it's God's grace I'm living by.
And with blessings come contention, B.
Right.
You know, when you get blessed, it's not gonna come with opposition. It's come with opposition, and it comes with contention.
Great
it
point.
always
Yeah.
comes.
So that's something you apply in your workplace.
Yeah.
Right. You could have ambitions. You know, that's great. But if it's anchored in the Lord, and you know that the Lord is going to promote you, the Lord is going to make room for you wherever you need to be at your job, and He's going to provide. He's going to provide that running water, that spring, that wellspring. So that's a good way to apply that. You know, everything that Mike was saying, we could go through that, and you know, very competitive.
You're right.
Work fields where, and Jesus talk about that too, right? You come in, don't try to take the
Best seat.
high
try to
seat.
take
Yeah,
the best seat. Don't try to come in and let the Lord call you up, and let the Lord promote you.
Right.
You know, that's just a good place to be, right? To abide in the Lord and not have to worry about the Lord that provides your daily provision. You don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat tomorrow or what I'm going to eat next week, right? And Jesus, he says that, listen, the birds don't worry. And you're more valuable than they are, right? So you apply that principle to everything, the Lord's going to promote you. And we see how he promotes, right? Tenfold. The Lord is not cheap with his.
Right.
He'll pour it down till you get tired, like,
That's crazy.
like, damn, Lord, that's enough.
And it's just, you know, just encouragement for anybody who's ever built anything. If you built a business from the ground up, you know, and you find people that are envious, contentious, you find some kind of opposition, they want to destroy your business, they want to burn your business down, they want to vandalize your business. I think this is a great example on how to just, keep it moving. You know, they're gonna go build. It comes from the Lord, B. It's not yours. You know, so if you've built something and somebody out of envy and jealousy done destroyed it, bro, just keep it moving. It comes from the Lord. The Lord is gonna bless it 10 times over, even better next time.
All right, let's finish it up.
23, right?
Yeah.
Then he went up from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared to him the same night and said, I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for my servant Abraham's sake. So he built an altar there and called on the name of the Lord, and he pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants dug a well. Then Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzath, one of his friends, and Phicol, the commander of his army. And Isaac said to them, Why have you come to me, since you hate me and have sent me away from you? But they said, We have certainly seen what the Lord is with you, so that the Lord is with you. So we said, Let there now be an oath between us, between you and us, and let us make a covenant with you, that you will do us no harm, since we have not touched you, and since we have done nothing to you but good, and have sent you away in peace. You are now the blessed of the Lord. So he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. Then they arose early in the morning and swore an oath with one another, and Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. It came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him about the well which they had dug, and said to him, We have found water. So he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba to this day. When Esau was 40 years old, he took as wives Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they were a grief of mind to Isaac and Rebekah.
Romans 12:20 says, Therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in doing so, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. That's the scripture that came to mind when I saw that. Like, they came to him and he's like, dog, what y'all want, man? Y'all sent me away. Y'all done did all of this to me. And, just the way Isaac dealt with it, it was just so noble, bro. Like, he could have, like you said, he could have went to war. He could have been like, yo, what you doing here? Yo, you don't like me. We gonna go to battle. But it was something totally, like, he was mild-mannered. He dealt with it just mature as a man and just understanding that it all came from God. He wasn't attached to these wells. So as they dug him up as they filled him up and he kept on moving, it was just things. He understood the importance of representing God, representing his God.
Blessed are the peacemakers, right? Wanting peace, wanting to maintain peace and establish peace. We see that in Isaac's character. And, I see the people, y'all kind of, this new generation, y'all forgot, right? Y'all forgot it's the same type of covenant they had from before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now they're coming back, right? So Isaac moved away from the tension, but you're still going to see what the Lord is doing in this man and this group, to the point where you're going to have to humble yourself to that and come, right? And again, he comes with the leader of his army. So now you're seeing like governments coming together and making a pact. That's the picture. Because now when you see Abimelech, he's coming with, his general,
his army.
This is not small.
Yeah.
Right? So now you're basically acknowledging the superiority of Isaac and his people.
Yeah.
Right? And now you're submitting. Let's make peace. Right? And it's not off of an aggression. Like Isaac wasn't aggressive where you're like, we better make peace or this guy's going to destroy us. Nah, you're recognizing the Lord from his life.
From his humility, B.
Right? And because of Isaac, his life and the way he moved affected this new generation of people. Just like we saw Abraham and the way he moved affected that other Abimelech and that generation. Right? And obviously, you know what time does. People forget.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I see. You had the Abimelech, they made this pact. Time passed, 40, 50 years maybe. Right? And then you see this new generation. Y'all probably forgot what happened before. But the Lord reminded them, because Isaac was faithful. Isaac was obedient. Isaac was peaceful.
Yep.
Right? Isaac was worshiping. Isaac kept himself busy in the affairs of God. Right? I had a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't just lay back and just get fat and live off of what my dad did. No, I kept on working, and the Lord kept on blessing it until they saw and was like, you know what? We acknowledge how you are superior to us because of your God.
Nah,
right?
that's perfectly put.
And then, they had a feast. Right? It's always good to establish peace, man.
Yeah, man.
And they have a feast, and
it says it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servant came and told him about the well which they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water."
More water.
Like, B, you're gonna keep getting blessed, B.
Getting blessed.
Like, dog, just chill out. Like, Isaac could have went another route. Like I said, this is something he was building from the ground up, digging wells, and you out there vandalizing it and destroying it. And he could have been like, nah, I'm gonna fight fire with fire, but he took the humble road, and the Lord just kept blessing him.
And how does this chapter close?
Esau taking wives. Esau, dog, the fornicator.
Yeah, taking wives of another nation.
Yeah. How many wives?
2.
Polygamy.
Yeah.
Right. We're seeing him. It highlights this.
Yeah.
Right. So when it highlights this, it says he took wives. I think back of Lamech.
Yeah.
How Lamech, that was highlighted. So he's moving in the ways of Lamech, where polygamy, taking multiple wives.
Or even with Abraham, make sure Isaac, You know,
He went
even his
against
dad,
that.
He went
right?
totally
his dad,
opposite.
his dad and his mom was from the same.
Right.
You heard the
family, from
story.
right?
Yeah.
And you
You
went out
probably
there.
heard how Abraham sent the servant to go
Right,
get your mom. You know
right,
all of that. You know what he
right.
said? He said, nah, man.
Yeah, B.
I'm out here in these streets. I'm with
at
these
you.
Hittites every
Right.
night. We
Yo,
popping.
we-
I want that.
And you see the same thing with
I
Samson,
want the
B.
Hittite with the fatty.
Wow.
Fatty.
Small waist,
Yeah, right.
cute face with a big bounce.
Right?
Nah, but you see the same thing with
the
Samson.
test that the servant did, right, to determine
It was
how
a-
you'd get a wife,
Yeah.
it's probably all that was out the window. You know what I'm saying? She don't have to be hospitable. She doesn't have to be industrious. She doesn't have to be
Humble.
humble. Nah. Give me the Hittites.
Give me the Hittites.
We out here.
Nah, definitely. And 35, it says, and what? It was a grief of the
Griefed.
mind of Isaac and Rebekah.
Right.
And Isaac loved you.
Yeah.
You was Isaac's favorite. And
Yeah.
even that grieved him.
I just see how he puts it together with how important everybody plays that role in the marriage, you know? Because now he's like, yo, that decision you made, it grief your parents. Like your parents is tossing and turning and they just heartbroken that you went and you got these strange wives. But just see how it affected, you know, it just didn't affect him. Out here, he's just like, your dog, I want the Hittites. They out here, they popping, they moving and shaking. I want them. But to your parents, it's just a disappointment, B. Like,
Right.
it's grief to their hearts. You know how a parent grieving, dog? That's like, you ever seen a parent grief, B?
Yeah.
For their child, dog. It's like seeing death, B. So it was hard.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Any final thoughts before we close?
Now, one of the things I see is that in terms of like we seen Abraham being man of the tents and the altars, and Isaac being the man of the wells, you know, and that was his form of worship, you know, in terms of if you just think about wells of living water, you know,
Yeah,
so that
nice.
was his form of worship.
Nice.
So this is why, you know, and God is pointing all these things out, how they identify with their relationship. He doesn't have the same exact relationship as Abraham, but he has his personal, intimate relationship as this is how he's identified as the man of the wells. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's like all of us, right? We all have our own intimate, personal relationship with the Lord in the way he reveals himself to us and how we worship him. Everyone has it, but, you know, together, collectively, we all believe in him and what he has done for us.
And in verse 24, God appeared to him again, right? This
Yeah.
Christophany, another appearance, right? Before, God came to him and warned him not to go to Egypt. And then, you know, God appeared to him and reinstated all these promises, right? Told him, don't fear. That's always the message from God. Don't
Right.
fear.
Right.
Right. I got you. Like, I'm here.
And
Don't be afraid.
Isaac went from being afraid, like you said, Isaac went from being afraid of these men to, you know, inviting them in and eating and drinking with them and having a feast. And I know Isaac probably sat there like, yo, man, like you said, I had nothing to be afraid of. Like, God, like even if they didn't come in peace, God would have made them be peaceable with me. Like, just, I know that killed him. When he probably saw them sitting there eating, because you came in there with this whole, you already, yeah, they gonna take my wife, they this, they that, and the whole time the Lord is like, nah, this is how it was supposed to always be. But you went in there lying, you went in there with no faith, and look what it led to. It led to all of this, but all of that could have probably been skipped if you would have just came in there with faith. You know?
Amen. Mike, you wanna?
Yeah. Father God, we just thank you again just for allowing us to open your word, Lord, because we know just your mind, the things that you know, you are all knowing, you are all seeing. You are great, Lord, and just to allow us to just see what you're doing and what you did. This is just all a foreshadow for us, Lord. You had us in mind when you were putting this book together, Lord. So we just thank you again for not leaving us in the dark, Lord. We thank you for allowing us to come into your kingdom, Lord, being sons and daughters of you, and just all the things you have waiting for us, Lord. So, Lord, we just again thank you. Anybody who's listening, Lord, and don't know you, Father God, we just pray that they heard something during this episode, Lord, that hit them. Lord, to just even have them go and read more and do more research, Lord. But the goal is to enter you, Lord, because you are truth, Lord. So again, we thank you in the name of your Son Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.